I still remember the chill in her voice when she said it, sharp, cold, and edged with arrogance. We were arguing over something small, something stupid. I reached out, trying to calm her, my hand brushing her back. That's when she snapped. "You don't even have the right to touch my back." For a moment, I just stood there, stunned. This was the woman I married 5 years ago, the woman I once couldn't go a single day without holding. Now she looked at me like I was nothing more than a stranger invading her space. I didn't shout. I didn't beg. I just looked at her one last time and said, "You're right." Then I picked up my jacket and walked out the door. I drove without knowing where I was going, the night swallowing the sound of my tires. Every memory replayed. The laughter, the first date, the vows we made. How did we end up here? Somewhere along the way, love had turned into something bitter and transactional. She changed after her promotion, more distant, more proud, more untouchable. I wasn't her husband anymore. I was a convenience, a piece of furniture she used when it suited her. But that sentence, "You don't even have the right," tore something out of me. It made me realize I had already lost her long before she ever said it out loud. That night, I didn't go home. I booked a hotel, turned off my phone, and sat in silence. No anger, no tears, just an empty calm. For the first time in years, I didn't feel trapped. I thought about how much I had tolerated her coldness, her mockery, her constant reminders that she could do better. I used to believe love meant patience, but patience without respect is just slow self-destruction. Lying there staring at the ceiling, I decided something, quietly but firmly. I wouldn't fight for someone who no longer saw me as worthy of touch. Morning light came, and with it clarity. I checked my phone. 16 missed calls, 5 messages from her. "Where are you? We need to talk. Please come home." It was almost laughable. The same woman who claimed I had no right to touch her suddenly wanted to talk. I didn't reply. I wanted her to sit in the silence she had created. Let her wonder where I was, who I was with, or whether I was ever coming back. Sometimes the most powerful thing a man can say is nothing at all. By afternoon, she showed up at my office. Her perfect hair was undone, her face pale from sleeplessness. "We need to talk," she said softly. I looked at her, the same woman who once made me feel small, and all I saw was regret. "Why now?" I asked. "Last night you said I didn't even have the right to touch you, so what's changed?" Her lip trembled. "I didn't mean it," she whispered. "I was angry." I nodded slowly. "You said what you felt. Anger doesn't create words, it reveals them." Her eyes filled with tears, but I didn't flinch. We sat in silence for a long time. Finally she said, "I miss us. I don't want to lose you." Her voice cracked, but I stayed calm. "You already lost me," I said gently. "The night you decided your pride was worth more than your marriage." She reached for my hand, but I pulled it away. For 4 years, I'd been the one chasing peace. Now she was the one chasing closure. The roles had reversed, and the irony wasn't lost on either of us. For the first time, she understood what it felt like to be unheard. Later that evening, she came home to an empty closet. I had already packed my things earlier in the day. I left my ring on the dresser, right beside the framed wedding photo, where she was smiling, genuinely smiling, years before the distance began. I didn't leave a note. I didn't owe her explanations. Sometimes silence says everything that needs to be said. That night, I turned off my phone again, knowing she was probably crying, calling, begging, but I had made my choice. Over the next few days, she tried everything, texts, voicemails, even showing up at my parents' house. "We can fix this," she pleaded. "Please come home." But there's a kind of peace that comes after breaking for too long. Once you find it, you never go back to chaos. I told her calmly, "You didn't just break our marriage. You broke the way I saw you. I can forgive you, but I can't unhear your words." The silence between us, heavy and permanent, was the sound of the end. Weeks passed and people started asking questions. Friends, co-workers, even her parents wanted to know what happened. She told them I'd walked away over nothing, but I knew better. It wasn't about one argument. It was about the years leading up to me, the disrespect, the indifference, the way love had turned into ownership. I had given her everything, loyalty, time, devotion. All she had to give back was basic respect. And when even that became too much to ask, I finally gave her what she had earned, my absence. It's been months since that night. She still messages me from time to time. Long, emotional apologies, promises to change. But I've moved on. I live lighter now. I laugh again. Sometimes I even think back to that moment. Her voice sharp, her words cutting. And I smile,
because that was the night I remembered my word. She said I didn't have the right to touch her back. Maybe she was right.